So there is boxing on the weekend. There is a catch though. It's shite. Unfortunately, this week is really, really dead for boxing. But there are some cards I want to talk about and just kind of put your attention to some of them and let you know kind of what's happening in the week of boxing. So we have two DAZN cards and one ESPN card. The first DAZN card is on Thursday, a very weird day again. We've had Teofimo last week on Thursday. This week we've got Jojo Diaz versus Jesus Antonio Perez Campos. Diaz has been on unsteady form recently. He's won one in his last 4 fights. Obviously, most people know him from when he beat Tevin Farmer for the world title. He's coming to the end of his career, really, but might get one more crack at a world title. Perez is coming off 2 losses, extremely inactive. He's had 1 fight in 2023, 1 fight in 2022, and then prior to that, hadn't fought since 2019. So a very meh fight and a really meh undercard as well, which seems to be the case with most Golden Boy cards. I don't see anything of note on any of the undercards, but there's that. So that's the fight on Thursday, another random Thursday fight, and then we move over to a more interesting card on Friday with O'Shaquie Foster, the super featherweight world champion, who is defending his titles against Abraham Nova. Both men winning their last fights in 2023. I saw O'Shaquie Foster saying he wanted to unify after this, so he's looking at Navarrete as his next opponent, which, I don't really like seeing fighters talk about, future opponents when they've got someone on the weekend. But anyway, Navarrete would be a very exciting fight. I think Joe Cordina's fighting Anthony Kakachi, which I believe might be on the Matchroom versus Queensbury card in Saudi Arabia. I'm not too sure what Lamont Roach is doing. Maybe that's another fight that he could take after this, but he's just got to get through Abraham Nova this weekend. Then we go to Mexico with Eddie Hearn. He loves his Mexican cards. We've got Adrian Crowell that takes on Notashinga. Crowell is defending his light flyweight title. This is a rematch, of course, of the last fight that they had in Monte Carlo, which was also a DAZN card. Crowell basically KO'd Notashinga in 2 rounds. It was a pretty decent upset, to be fair. I kind of see it going the same way. I think it's just that Mexican style doesn't bode well for Notashinga, but let's see. However, my most anticipated fight on this card is actually the co-main event, which is Mauricio Lara's return. Obviously, we saw him in his last fight, which was the rematch of the Lee Wood first fight. That was a really strange performance from Lara. He didn't make weight, and basically what it looked like to me, he looked like Andrew Ruiz versus AJ in the second fight. He just looked completely checked out, came into the rematch out of shape, uninterested, and he's fighting Daniel Lugo, who is 27-2, who is basically never fought outside Mexico. So I imagine Mauricio Lara gets the job done. But I don't know, it's interesting to see where he goes now. He looked pretty kind of out of it in that rematch with Lee Wood. Almost like what happened with Ruiz, where he just got the money in the first fight, and now he's just like, I'm just cashing in now. So a very quiet, very just meh week for boxing. And I think the saddest thing about this all is we were meant to see Undisputed this week. We were so close. But then conveniently, Tyson Fury gets a cut. Don't sue me, Frank. I'm just saying. So that is the boxing for the weekend. It's just one of them. It's one of those weekends that just, it flows by. You don't remember it.